welcome to Business Matters, the show about people behind businesses that help make Tacoma a great place to live and work. I'm your host, Mike Work, and today our guest is Kelly Chambers with Visiting Angels. Welcome, Kelly.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So Visiting Angels is a service for people, adults and seniors who need help staying at home but have troubles doing that themselves.
Right. We're a home care agency, so we place our caregivers where someone lives. So primarily that's in their house,
right.
But there are people that live in apartments, assisted living facilities that need extra one-on-one care, so we take care of them wherever they live.
And that means that people contact you, they say, we need some help, we need somebody to help take care of my mom or me, and then you match them up with a provider.
Right.
Which is a certified nurse.
Certified nursing assistants.
Okay.
Right. We do a free in-home assessment. We come out and visit with them and find out what their needs are. And we put together a individualized plan of care for each of our clients.
Okay.
Documenting what that person needs help with. We care for a lot of people with chronic diseases, and there's a lot that our caregivers can do to reduce emergency hospital visits by providing, good nutrition and care in the home. And a lot of times I think of our care as preventative.
Right.
We get a lot of calls from adult children saying, my mom has fallen so many times. And we don't take that lightly because we know that the next fall could be very traumatic.
Serious.
And you may not come home at all. So let's get a little care in, have our caregiver do the heavy lifting, the grocery shopping, ensure that somebody is getting in and out of the bathroom and the shower safely, and help them with that care.
So if the shower is a challenge, or bathing or dressing, whatever the issues are, the caregiver can be there for that on a daily basis if necessary.
Right.
Or just an occasional basis, depending what the need is.
We have some clients that we just escort to doctor's appointments, but we do everything from an hour a day to 24/7 care. So we do a lot of end-of-life care. We're not hospice, but we work with a lot of people on hospice, and our services just really supplement hospice care. So if somebody's end of life, maybe they're bed-bound, our caregivers come in and help provide care in a really dignified way, and it's just it's very gratifying because we get to make people's end-of-life wishes come true, that they get to stay in their home, and so that's a huge sense of satisfaction there.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But that's a big job because it requires more of the heavy lifting and just probably more full-time commitment.
Yeah, it can be kind of intense. Yeah, so
from a business end, I mean, there's a lot of compassion, a lot of caring, and I'm sure that's very rewarding.
right, it is. For people thinking about bringing care into their home, it's kind of scary. Having a stranger in your home in a very kind of intimate and personal care situation. So we don't take that lightly, and we really look for good caregivers that are honest and trustworthy and safe to place in people's homes.
Okay, so that's what's rewarding, and that's what I think would make a business like that really interesting and fulfilling. But there's also the business side.
Right.
So you have to identify your caregivers, evaluate them, and then match them up. How does that all work?
Well, caregivers know, CNAs and caregivers know where to look for jobs, so they come to us. But I think some of our screening techniques are different, and they help me sleep at night because I know that we're doing the best we can to find quality people to place in clients' homes. We do psychological profiling and personality profiling to see if somebody is honest and has integrity, things like that. We also drug test all of our caregivers, which is huge. We don't just have a random drug testing policy. We drug test all of them, and I have to say that not everybody passes that, so I know we're screening people out so that we're getting a safe group of people to place in clients' homes. And then it changed this year in January with new regulations for home care agencies that we all have to do the background checks through the DSHS, and we do, that entails a Washington State Patrol check and a FBI fingerprint. So everybody's doing that, but we do some other screening things on top of that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you have a business in Tacoma, which is great, but that's not your only business.
No.
You have Olympia?
We have Olympia and we have Newburgh, Oregon.
Newburgh, Oregon.
Right.
So those are big territories. How many people do you serve on average, say in Tacoma?
A couple hundred.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big workload.
It keeps us busy, and I can say in 8 years of doing this, every day is interesting.
Yeah,
There's no
sure.
2 days that are alike.
So you have a couple hundred here in Tacoma, and then Olympia and Newburgh. What's your
Right.
total workload there?
Gosh, several hundred, but we've cared for thousands of people over the 8 years that we've been doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have your people that go into the homes and do the assessment, so you have a crew of those, and then you have your nursing assistants.
Right.
Are there any other personnel that are involved with this?
We have our office staff is our administrative staff. We have our marketing directors that are out there reaching out to clients and marketing our services to hospitals and rehab facilities. We have our schedulers, and everybody kind of rotates being on call and sharing that workload, so we're available evenings and weekends to our clients.
24/7? Yeah, because somebody could call and need help anytime.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. So scheduling must be very important.
Scheduling is huge. It's a huge part of what we do every day.
Does insurance work with this
Yes.
coverage?
Yeah. Long-term care insurance is the kind of insurance that covers our services.
I see.
So we are happy to process that paperwork for our clients that have that kind of insurance.
Okay. So what is the challenge? What are the big challenges in running a business like this?
Always finding enough good caregivers.
I talked to Sophie.
Turnover of clients. We're dealing with a lot of people at end of life, so sometimes
Yes.
they pass away on us, and
Yeah.
it's gratifying, but it's hard at the same time because
That's what you're there to do, to help them make that transition. But
Yeah.
once they make the transition, you've done your job, and you have
we're
to
good.
move on.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a big sense of satisfaction there. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So I'm always curious about how people get into a line of work.
Right.
And this probably isn't something that when you were in college or high school you thought, oh, I want to go do a visiting
Right.
angel business. How did you end up in this business?
Well, I can't take all the credit for it. The credit goes to my mom.
Okay.
She's been a CNA for 25 years,
Okay.
and I don't, growing up, I didn't think I would be going into business with my mom. I actually have a teaching degree and a political science degree.
Wow.
So my mom had been a caregiver. She and her and I had an opportunity to buy this business, and I just kept running the numbers, like, is this real? Is this legitimate? And
And the numbers were saying,
yes, it's not multi-level marketing. It's a legitimate business. So my mom and I started it. Then 4 years ago, I was in Phoenix at a home care and hospice conference, and I met my husband, who owned the Visiting Angels office in Oregon.
and you already had the Visiting Angels business?
I had mine, he had his. We married, and then we opened our third office together, which is our Olympia office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He had his, you had yours, now you have ours.
Yes, same with our
Yeah.
kids, his, mine, and ours. Same with our businesses. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So, so we still have the office in Oregon and take care of that area southwest of Portland.
So the owners are you, your husband, and your mother.
Yep.
So it's a real family business.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. How does that work?
It works really well. My mom is the heart. She still supervises our cases and is out there setting up care. My husband and I, we balance each other out, and he's very smart. So, I rely on him, and I know what his strengths are, and I push things onto his plate that I know he can take care of, and vice versa. He gives me things as well.
So in running a family business, is it a challenge to keep the business from coming into the home? Is there a separation there that you have to think about and work with, or does it happen naturally?
It happens pretty naturally. There's not a lot of separation. We love what we do, and we talk about it all the time. So we don't get away from it too much. And our extended family all knows what we do as well, and they're very involved, at least with opinions.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So it's been a great blessing, and I always have looked at our business as not just a way to take care of our clients, but as a way to take care of my family as well. And it's been great, and we've had some. We've set some goals and had some huge successes, and
That's great.
And it's been neat to be able to treat our family as well. So 2 years ago, we took our entire family to Disneyland, which was
wonderful.
a big blessing to be able to take
Oh, that's fun.
17
Yeah. 17?
With all my brothers, sister-in-laws,
Wow.
and nieces and nephews. We had to hire a bus to take us all to the airport.
I want to be part of your family. That sounds
pretty fun.
Yeah. So you've got, and how long have you been at this?
8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
And how long have you and your husband partnered?
4.
And the Visiting Angels is a national franchise?
Visiting Angels is a franchise, yeah.
Okay. And so that's...
And there's about 400 offices across the U.S.
So you look, the numbers are the package that they lay out for you and tell you how you'll operate your business, and then you get the Visiting Angels branding, which helps people understand what you do.
Right.
Okay.
And then you pour a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and hopefully get some customers that you can serve.
I see. So you've now have 3 cities with your business offices in them.
Right. And
What
out
about-
of Tacoma, we serve Puyallup, Fife, Gig Harbor, University Place, down to DuPont, and then our Olympia office serves all of Thurston County.
All of Thurston County, which is a pretty big area.
Yeah.
And the Newport or Newburgh, Oregon,
Newburgh.
How big is that territory?
Newburgh serves McMinnville, Newburgh, Sherwood, kind of that Chehalem Valley,
Very
southwest of
large
Portland.
Suburban areas.
And it's a little more rural down in Oregon. It's not quite Portland Central, but the suburbs.
So 8 years in the business, and in the last 4 years you've added 1 new office. What's in the future?
Oh my gosh. You know, this year we are just adjusting to the new regulations
Okay.
that we're facing. There's some.
Those are state regulations,
Those are
right?
state. There's a federal challenge right now in the to the Fair Labor Standards Act. So there's some legislative stuff that we're working on. But just, you know, doing the right thing and doing what we do. We are working on some training programs for our caregivers in nutrition. So there's a lot that our caregivers can do in someone's home with meal and diet
Right.
to deal with chronic diseases. And each chronic disease kind of has a better way of eating. So we see a lot of people that are eating frozen foods, and families think that that's sufficient.
Right.
But when you have diabetes, congestive heart failure,
So there's an educational component
diet is
too.
huge. So educating our caregivers and training them on those aspects as well.
Well, it sounds like you have your hands full and plenty
Yeah.
to do, and so probably not any big expansion in the near future, but I'm really glad you're here in Tacoma.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we love being in Tacoma. It's been a great place to operate a business.
Well, it's good to hear. That's what we like to hear, that Tacoma is a great place to operate a business because we need people like you helping make it a better place.
Well, I didn't go into this knowing, you know, everything about small business, but I've learned a lot over the years, and I'm just a huge fan of small businesses and our role in the community.
Fabulous. Well, Kelly, thanks for being our guest today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned after this break for our next segment of Economic Gardening. If you own your own business, you might have days when you feel like you're engaged in risky business. On today's Economic Gardening with Cindy Solomon, you'll get some points about understanding when your decisions might be based in business courage.
There's a wonderful quote by Helen Keller, of all people, that says, "Life is what happens between the trapeze bars." And I think that's the point we're in with business right now. Many of us have been struggling through a dismal economy. And regardless of what business you're in, there has been changes that you've had to make. And I think at a time in our world, in our country, and certainly in business, where most of us, human nature dictates you want to close in, duck down, keep your head under the radar, not do anything risky because you're afraid, because of the 24/7 news feed that we get telling us how horrible things are out there. But the reality is, those companies that are absolutely vaulting out of this recession, those companies that I hear about from across the country are doing extraordinarily well right now, are the companies who are having the courage to make those big, bold decisions. The companies who are truly going after innovation, the companies who aren't just hunkering down, but are truly taking smart risks, engaging their entire organization to a common cause that pole vaults them out of this economy, those are the ones who are doing exceptional work. For most of us, we just want to hold on to that trapeze bar. It's safe, it's comfortable. But those of us who can let go, who can have the courage to reach for something different, to reach for that new product idea or that new service idea, those will be the ones who do extraordinarily well, not just today, but as the economy really starts to turn around.
Thanks, Cindy. You can learn more about how to grow your business through the City of Tacoma's Economic Gardening Program. Be sure to check the city's website, cityoftacoma.org/economic gardening. After this break, we'll take a look at a downtown grocer in the spotlight. Stay with us. Today in the spotlight is Tacoma City Grocer.
Hello, my name is Charlie McKissick, and I am the store director at Tacoma City Grocer IGA in downtown Tacoma.
Urban dwellers in Tacoma's core celebrated the opening of Tacoma City Grocer in 2011. The business wraps around the corner of 13th and Pacific Avenues, favoring the south end of Tacoma's downtown corridor near the University of Washington Tacoma campus. Tacoma City Grocer is an urban food center.
Well, we're a full-service supermarket, just like any other typical grocery store that you're going to find on anywhere else in the country, quite frankly. We have a produce department, meat department, all the dry grocery and general merchandise you can expect to see in a grocery store, as well as a full-service deli and bakery.
Being a downtown grocery store involves adjusting to urban challenges. Real estate is a big issue. Unlike supermarkets further from the city, Tacoma City Grocer doesn't have an expansive field of asphalt dedicated to carts and cars. Their solution is, well, urban.
First and foremost, we have parking on top of us instead of in the lot in front of us. That's a little bit different, but I don't know that we're really unique. We're just smaller and more of a community supermarket.
And they pride themselves on customer service. The staff greets everyone who comes into the store.
Even though we are in an urban location, we're right in the middle of the business district here in Tacoma, there's still a community here. There's apartments 2 blocks up the hill from us. There's condos 2 blocks down on the water. You can feel a sense of community in Tacoma here, even in the 5 months that we've been open now.
Tacoma City Grocer puts a lot of product into a tight space, making use of every inch of the building, which requires staff to think out of the box. That creativity flows into marketing and community outreach activities as well.
We've had a jazz band in here a couple months ago. I'm sure we'll do that again. We're on the art bus tour that comes through Tacoma. We feature an artist each month, and we put their paintings on the pillars over here.
Tacoma City Grocer is new. Fixtures, layout, lighting, everything is fresh with an upscale feel. For years, local residents and businesses said there was a need for a downtown grocer at this end of town. Now that one is here, will there be enough customers?
There's been kind of a grocery vacuum in this location, in this area of the city. So they're first and foremost happy that we're here at all, that they don't have to go another couple miles out of the area to find a supermarket.
Competition with other supermarkets is always a challenge. Tacoma City Grocer says their competitive edge is service. Staff guide customers and support them throughout the store. Tacoma City Grocer may be smaller than the big chains down the road, but they focus on their strengths.
I know we're a small store, but we will bend over backwards to get what people want if they ask us, and it's available to us. We've got about 3 different wholesalers that we can go to provide product for us, primary wholesalers. And we are adding new items to our shelf almost on a weekly basis.
Tacoma City Grocer features a well-stocked selection of wines and specialty beers, meats and local dairy goods. Charlie and the management team know the trends of today's health-conscious customers and ensure healthy products are available.
Organics and the natural foods is the fastest growing segment in the food industry, or it has been over the last few years. People are paying more attention to what they're purchasing. Our produce department is a significantly higher percentage of our sales than what some of our other typical supermarkets have been in the past. And that's a trend in the industry, not just here in this store, because people are paying more attention. They want healthier options.
More than 20 people make up the Tacoma City Grocer staff. Surprisingly, only a handful come from the supermarket business. The rest get continual hands-on experience and mentoring.
There is only 2 other employees besides myself that had any grocery experience prior to us opening the store. We hired a green crew, and they've come through just with flying colors. Nothing but great things to say about them. Learning the business, first and foremost, it's customer service business. So they seem to get that down pat, and we've stressed it significantly. I mean, I've been with these folks since 1996, and I wouldn't work for anybody else. They're a great company to work for.
When you enter the store, one area that stands out is the deli. It serves the business lunch crowd, which, according to Charlie, is the biggest customer draw. It's turning out to be a great way to introduce the store to new customers.
The lunch crowd is the big crowd right now, especially during the week, since we are right in the heart of town. But as we're growing, more and more people are finding out that we've got, validated parking in the garage above us.
Charlie says the company is patient and expects the store to steadily grow its customer base.
We're starting out slow. We didn't have any great big media blitz or any, big grand opening parties or giveaways or anything like a lot of chain stores might do. We came in expecting it to be a slow start, and we're going to grow from there. And the main thing we want to do is take care of our customers, be a part of the community around us, and give back to the community as well.
That's it for Business Matters. Join me next time for more insight into the Tacoma business scene. See you then.